Welcome back to my channel, you guys, and in today's video we'll be making some delicious seafood fettuccine. Make sure you've hit that subscribe button and you've turned on your post notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a video. Let's get into it. So the primary ingredients to this recipe include king crab meat, shrimp, cold water lobster tails, fettuccine noodles. I have a green and a red bell pepper, mushrooms, unsalted butter, Italian parsley, fresh garlic, onion, and heavy cream. So we will start by boiling our noodles. You want to turn your stove onto a high heat. Add 4 cups of water. If you have broth, you may add that. I didn't have broth, so in today's video, I'm using 4 cups of water with beef flavoring. I've also added in some olive oil that's going to help with preventing the noodles from sticking. This here is the beef flavor, or you can also use chicken flavor, whichever one you have. Once the water comes to a boil, add your noodles. On another hour, we're going to turn our stove to a medium-high heat. Add about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. We're going to first cook our onions for about 2 minutes. Allow those to become translucent. Then add in our peppers and garlic. And we're going to saute that for about 4 minutes. So we set that to the side. Here I'm just showing you guys how to butterfly lobster tails. If you haven't already, you can look at other videos to show you more in detail. But I'm just going to go ahead and prepare these lobster tails so that I can pop them into the oven. This process is very simple. All you're going to do is cut the lobster tail shell down the middle, slit the 2 ends towards the tail, and then go ahead and crack it and kind of pry out the meat. And then you just want to set the meat on top of the shell. You'll go ahead and clean it off, rinse off any of the, dirt residue, whatever is inside of the lobster tail, and prepare for it to be seasoned. After cleaning your lobster tails, you want to place them on a baking sheet, lightly glaze them with a little bit of olive oil, and then I'm using this seasoning that I really appreciate from Ross, as it contains all of the ingredients I like for my seafood. Lobster tails, you don't need too much, don't do too much, but you can use Old Bay, garlic powder, whatever you like. I'm now using this garlic butter that I really love. This here is from Sam's Club. And so I'm going to go ahead and pop this into the oven for about 20 to 30 minutes on 350 degrees, depending on the size of your lobster tail and how hot your oven is. Now, moving along to preparing the king crab meat, I'm going to go ahead and deshell the meat prior to cooking it. This here is fresh out of the packet. I'm just cutting it open and removing the meat from the shell. Can y'all believe I paid $30, like $35 for that little bit of meat? They owe me some meat. Like, look at how much of a small portion of meat came out of this shell. I want my money back. So I'll be seasoning this with the same seasoning that I used on the lobster tails, along with a little bit of garlic powder and lemon pepper. Moving along to the shrimp, after you've removed the shells and cleaned them thoroughly, I'm now going to go ahead and prepare them so that we can also cook them on the stove. So you're going to go ahead and continue seasoning up your shrimp. You can use either the ingredients that I've chose or whatever ingredients float your boat. Just make sure that you add some flavor. I tend to try to add flavor, but not too much salt. I try to incorporate a lot of herbs with my seasoning. So you're just going to go ahead and season those up, set that to the side. Now we're going to start with the real fun. Let's go ahead and turn your stove onto a medium heat. We're going to add in some butter. That there is the chef champy butter, which is the butter that I was telling you guys that I used to put on the lobster tail. I also went ahead and added in a little bit of virgin olive oil because I'm trying not to use too much butter. And we're just going to go ahead and put these king crab meat in there. The king crab meat is already cooked, okay? So you don't really need to do too much with it. Right now, I'm just trying to give it a little bit of grill, like a little bit of grill to it kind of thing. So I'm just gonna sit these in probably on about 2 to 3 minutes on each side, and then I added in a little bit of olive oil because my pan was just a little too dry. Y'all, this smells so good and it looks so good. I can really like eat this right out of the pan. And it was so tempting not to eat all of the seafood while trying to prepare this meal. As you guys know, I love me some seafood. So after another 2 minutes on the other side, I removed those, added the shrimp, and did the same process. Now on to the sauce. So I'll show you guys what those shrimp turned out to look like. With the same butter and oils that were in the pan, I went ahead and I added those vegetables and onions and peppers that we sauteed earlier. I added those back into the pan along with some heavy cream. I used about half of the 16-ounce carton, and then I gave that a good stir. After about 30 minutes, this is what our lobster tails look like coming freshly out of the oven. Back to our sauce. Our stove is still on a medium heat. I went ahead and I've added the mushroom. I've also added a little flour with some chicken stock to go ahead and thicken this up so that we can have more of a creamier texture. You could also use cream cheese if you like, but I'm trying not to have this, too fattening as it's already, a little decadent. But we're gonna go ahead and continuously stir that. Now we'll start building up to create our pasta. I'm now gonna go ahead and add in our noodles that we've cooked earlier, and then we'll go ahead and start adding in our meat slowly. First, I'll start with the shrimp. We'll add that to the combination, and then we'll continue to build. So to this combination, I went ahead and added some broccoli, as you can probably see. The broccoli wasn't enough to have as a side vegetable. Be sure not to add too many noodles, as you don't want your pasta to be too dry, and you want to have a good mixture between the noodles and the meats. So now I've added in the meat. We're going to go ahead and give this a good stir, and then we'll go ahead and add more seasoning if needed, along with the fresh parsley. We'll allow this to simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes. By allowing this combination to simmer, that's going to also help with the sauce being able to build up to a little bit of a thicker texture, while also allowing all of those delicious ingredients to become combined. Now it's time to share the final product. Oh my goodness, y'all, this meal was so delicious. I have to run this back. I did end up making some garlic knots on the side. My kid loves this meal. My fiance loves this meal. I love this meal. And just look at it. Delicious. All of the aromas of the seafood, the spices, the herbs, a little bit of lemon. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are inspired by the meal that I've created, go ahead and create your own. Let me know how it turns out. Let me know what you guys have tried or did differently. And also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as that helps me out tremendously. I am on a road to my first 100 subscribers. And stay tuned for more videos.